What's up, Padawans? What's up, Padawans? Afro Joe here, saying I can tell you is I wanted to do this video about Joseph C.Phillis. He was on that show, the Cosby Show with Bill Cosby, and he comes out and calls Bill Cosby a rapist. And I thought that was just, and to me, I thought something wasn't right. But I'm gonna show you the interview, and I got this video. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due from Society Sucks. That's a YouTuber, and I want y'all to watch this video and tell me what. I'm gonna show you this video.
Bill the benefit of the doubt. This was not the man that I knew. This is not the man that I worked with. He may have had other faults, but he certainly was not drugging people and raping them. And then I had a conversation with an old friend. Bumped into her. I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years. Bumped into her. I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years. I just thought, hey, he used to be like your mentor or something.
Was she an actress?
Yeah, and I don't want to say too much about it.
So he was a mentor to her?
Yes, and for 2 hours, she sat in my car. 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 She sat in my car, crying, telling me her story. All of that. And at that moment, something changed for me. She turned to me and she said, she wiped her face and she said, "Do you believe me?" And I said, "Yes, I believe you."
Now, he says that he talked to this woman, and I thought something wasn't right. And I'm sitting up there thinking, I say, how come he's the only person that comes out to say this about Bill Cosby, calls Bill Cosby a rapist? You ain't never seen the woman that played Sandra, which is Sabrina. Her real name is Sabrina. This is the lady who plays Sandra, the oldest daughter. This is the guy named George who played Elvin, Sandra's husband. You didn't see them two sit up there and say, oh, Bill Cosby's a rapist. You saw Felicia Rashad come and say and defend Bill Cosby about these accusations. You never seen Lisa Bonet saying, Bill Cosby raped me. You never seen her say nothing bad about Bill Cosby or Malcolm Jamal Warner. He never talked bad about Bill Cosby. Neither did Keisha Knight Putnam. They played Rudy Huxtable on the show, or Tempest. They played Vanessa on the show, or Raven Simone. Raven Simone sat on The View, says, I'm not going to talk about this because if it wasn't, he gave me my first job. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting on The View. That's what she said on The View. Then there was Erica Alexander. She was on the show. She played Bill Cosby's cousin, but after the show went off the air, she ended up being on she played Alex off of Living Single. And you never seen Early Hammy, I forgot, can't pronounce his last name. He played Bill Cosby's father. You never heard him say nothing bad about him. It's just this man started talking this shit. Now I'm gonna read an article that's been said, because I'm gonna read an article I read. It's like from Media Light, but they got it from the New York Post anyway. Damn way. They got a comment from New York Post. It says, former Cosby star actor, sitting American president, and a president hope that the Smithsonian and these are many more have felt the urge or push to comment on the numerous rape accusations leaving against comedian Bill Cosby. Now it's time to add the whole unwanted vote to New York Post columnist Andrea Priestley. And in the late night columns on Thursday, titled I have my doubts Bill Cosby a rapist. She said she has her doubts that Bill Cosby is a rapist. And what you think after reading the headline? She defends Cosby. She doesn't necessarily do a complete 180 per se, and urges that everything about the accusation against the comedian are definitely false. Instead of this is not me saying, I'm not writing this, but I'm end up putting that whole in the description box too. And I got another video I want to show y'all. It's about this woman accusing a man of rape, and it's an episode of 2020. It's from an episode of 2020. It's something else.
finds them.
He's inviting us to an after party.
What'd you think of him?
A crazy guy. Get into my car without permission.
The situation is a powder keg, so Aurora scrambles out of the car and joins her friends in the restaurant. She expects Bjorny to come with her, but instead, Bjorny takes off in her friend's car.
I was drunk, so I took the car and I drove.
We walked back out, and the car's not there.
Bjorny leaves the car at a nearby parking lot and piles into a white van with the stranger and his friends. They spend an hour driving around, searching in vain for the party.
I got scared on my way there because I thought something was going to happen. So I started crying and crying and crying.
Bjorny's friends, left high and dry, tried desperately to call her cell phone. Finally, they make contact and reunite with Bjorny and the car back at the parking lot. When they find her there,
Her hair was all crazy. Her mascara was all runny. She looked like she had been in a struggle.
Aurora and the girls are angry they've been ditched. Bjorny feels cornered and doesn't know what to do. Tensions are high. And then,
Out of nowhere, she lashed out at me.
We got into a physical fight, which I started it.
the fight is an out-and-out brawl. The girls even crack the windshield.
And this is totally out of character for her.
Totally out of character.
This is not how she is.
No.
Aurora is furious and stunned, but the mood changes when Bjorny explains why she's acting this way. She says something terrible happened with the stranger in the back of the van.
He pulled off my pants. He was hitting me. And he raped me.
Were you screaming for him to stop?
Yes, I did.
When did it stop?
When he finished.
She had been raped. And I'm like, feeling like horrible. Like just in shock.
The girls, enraged just moments before, are now totally sympathetic. They drive Bjorny to this hospital. She relays her account to the staff there, and they perform a rape kit. Detectives from the NYPD Special Victims Unit start investigating. Bjorny repeats to them her nightmare of being brutally raped. Then, in short order, they track down the white van and the guy who first jumped in the girl's car, a 28-year-old contractor named William McCaffrey.
Why did you think the police want to speak to you?
Well, I had no idea, but I know I didn't do anything, so I had no problem going into the precinct.
McCaffrey tells the police he and his pals did cruise around with Bjorny in the van, then left her back at her car, drunk but unharmed. His denials are absolute and unflinching.
Did you rape Bjorny?
Of course not.
Did you assault Bjorny?
No, I did not.
Did you give her any reason to believe that you were a threat to her?
Not at all.
Supporting McCaffrey's claims, the rape kit comes back negative. The strongest evidence of a physical attack police have is a bite mark on Bjorny's shoulder. But still, if it comes down to a he said, she said, the cops are probably going to accept what she said.
Do they seem like they believe you?
Not at all.
But police have reason to be suspicious. McCaffrey's been arrested numerous times for petty offenses like DUI and assault. On the other hand, Bjorny couldn't be more credible. She sticks to her story. She's traumatized and doesn't hesitate to take the morning after pill offered by the hospital.
I had to take this pill because I can't get an infection.
What happened at the end of the meeting?
I was charged with rape in the first degree.
McCaffrey maintains his innocence up and through the trial, even taking the stand to defend himself. Bjorny maintains his guilt, and almost solely on the basis of her emotional testimony, the jury votes to convict.
When you heard the word guilty, how'd you take it?
Terribly. I thought about my son's name. If I was going to make it to see my grandmother, you know, or would I have to bury her from prison.
The sentence, swift and severe.
They told me he got convicted 20 years.
20 years. What do you think?
I'm surprised. I just want to get home.
It seems The case is closed. Justice has been served, and Bjorny can start rebuilding her life.
She thought finally something was going right for her.
With the ordeal of the trial behind her, Bjorny is ready to end her life as a rape victim and start again as a wife and mother.
My life keep moving on with my child, my husband.
Bjorny settles into a stable family life in New Jersey with her new husband, Leo Mejia, her son Gabriel, and a steady job.
I married her because I feel like she's a special person. Tony's a nice person. She's responsible girl.
She's back to her normal self. Acting the way that she always is. Happy.
William McCaffrey, on the other hand, is in New York's notorious Sing Sing prison, dealing with a rape racket, not the most popular of crimes on the inside. People try to beat you up in prison.
It's up to the river.
McCaffrey's not fighting for his life, he's fighting for his freedom. With the help of attorney Glenn Garber, head of a New York nonprofit called the Exoneration Initiative.
We're doing what we can to help a lot of people who've been forgotten and are languishing in jail.
Garber thinks the case against McCaffrey is thin. Remember, the rape kit had come back negative. Prosecution won, relying largely on Bjorny's testimony and McCaffrey's questionable past.
At the trial, the judge allowed them to go into his criminal history again, and they hammered it.
Garber focuses on the only real piece of physical evidence, specifically those bite marks found on Bjorny's shoulder. After months of legal wrangling, he convinces the prosecution to agree to a DNA test.
The DNA came back and showed that there was female saliva on her arm, and that there was no male saliva. That was a bombshell for us.
Because you are a lot of things, but one of them is not a woman.
Yes.
So it couldn't have been you.
At all.
The tests also exclude Bjorny, meaning the marks were made by another female, most likely during that strange fight with Aurora.
And we thought that the prosecutor was going to say, yes, it's true, we made a mistake, an innocent man is in jail.
But it doesn't play that way. The prosecution argues the DNA could have been left by tears shed by the other girls while they were comforting Bjorny.
That seemed to be a preposterous story to me. But Mr. McCaffrey was not going to walk out of jail based on this evidence.
More than 2 years would go by and McCaffrey was behind bars serving his sentence. Bjorny was out enjoying the freedom of family and friends, but it would turn out she wasn't free at all. Bjorny was in a prison of her own.
Every time I see something in the news about raping, every time I see something about jail, this comes in my mind. And then here I am crying.
She starts to become distraught. She's not as outgoing. She doesn't want to do the same things anymore.
My husband was questioning me, why you always crying? What's wrong?
I cannot even touch her before. She was just crying and this and that. That's because she feel guilty what happened with the guy.
Depression, anxiety, sleeplessness, all the symptoms of a troubled conscience. And it just keeps getting worse.
And nothing was going to change her. Nothing was going to change. So I need to make a change.
That change, a new and powerful commitment to her faith in God.
She was drawn into the Catholic Church. She started to become active in the prayer group. She finally got up the courage to go to confession.
At last, in the confessional at this New Jersey church, Bjorny reveals the secret which has been tormenting her. What do you say?
I told the priest that there was somebody in jail because I lied. I said he raped me.
That's right. William McCaffrey never raped Bjorny Peguero. And Bjorny's accusations repeated to friends, the hospital staff, the police, the prosecutors, and the jury. All of it lies. Why do you think?
See, she lied. That's why I have trouble trying to figure this stuff out. Now I'm gonna put that video down in the description box. It's a 2020 video, but I got it from, I'm giving credit to Black and Blind Media. But Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Tumblr, subscribe to my channel, CeeLo Jr. 2, CeeLo Jr. 3. Tell me what you think. Both videos be down in the description box. Even the articles be down in the description box. Tell me what you think about this. Share this, like this, all that. Don't be a Sith or be a Jedi. If you ain't down with the Wookiee, you a dick in the booty ass. Peace, love, and Afro Grease.